I'm trying to stay consistent with the boxing content. I was in New York City visiting my hometown. I'm in Florida, so I had to go with the wifey to to see a show. Schubert Theater, and I should have recorded some behind the scenes. I wanted to have that personal time with my family. But yeah, this is Tony Also Knows Boxing, and I just want to talk about the upcoming fights. There's two upcoming title fights that are on the same date, which I don't understand. Why they putting such great fights on the same date, like Subriel Matias versus Paro, and the undercard is gonna be good. Supposedly, I don't know the boxers on the undercard. Like I don't really follow them. They're like prospects that are coming up. William Ortiz, Stephanie Pinheiro. She's a women's boxer. I don't really follow women's boxing, but yeah, that's gonna be the undercard. Is gonna be Mexico versus Puerto Rico. And it's gonna be like I think two fights. I think it's Fierro. Fierro, he beat Alberto Machado years ago, and he's gonna fight Alfredo Santiago, and we're gonna see how that turns out. But I'm looking forward to the Subriel Matias fight on the main event. But the injustice is that they're making the Tank Davis fight versus Martin on the same date, and I feel like that's not fair to Subriel Matias because this is the opportunity for him to have more eyes on him, and it's kind of like taken away from Subriel Matias' big splash to defend his title, IBF title, for the first time in Puerto Rico. He's fought in Puerto Rico before, but this is the first time that he defends his championship in Puerto Rico. It's going to be his second title defense. But the Tank Davis undercard is going to be really good too. So it's like I think that what you call it the Tank Davis fight starts later. I think it's gonna they're fighting in Las Vegas, and Tank Davis was saying something about he don't want to fight in Las Vegas, but I think that was a rumor. He tweeted something on his I think on Twitter, and then he deleted it. He said that he doesn't want to give him his money to Las Vegas, but that hasn't been confirmed. Dante's Boxing was saying that, but I don't take everything that Dante's Boxing says serious because Dante is a biased guy. He's a very biased content creator. So, I'm just basically the undercard of Tank Davis, Frank Martin, is gonna be one of my favorite boxers, David Benavidez. He's gonna fight Glavadik. I forgot his name. His name is really weird. He's gonna fight a Ukrainian guy, and then the other undercard fight is gonna be trying to remember, Gary Antoine Russell. He's gonna fight I forgot the name of the boxer that he's gonna fight, but Gary Antoine Russell is gonna fight a tough competitor. Forgot his name, but he's gonna fight on the undercard as well. And I feel like it's gonna be a stacked undercard. Gary Antoine Russell, David Benavidez, and I don't know what other fight is gonna be on the undercard, but that's what I have right now. As far as the undercard, it's going to be really exciting undercard for Tank Davis versus Frank Martin. And I'm hoping that they put that fight a little later than the Subriel Matias fight, because the Subriel Matias fight versus Liam Paro starts at 7 p.m. from what I understand and what I researched. And it's going to be two prospects that are signed with Eddie Hearns. It's William Ortiz, and there's another one, Stephanie Pinheiro. She's a female Puerto Rican boxer. And William Ortiz, I've never seen him fight, but he has a 5-0 record with 4 KOs, and he looks promising. I haven't really seen him fight, his footage of him fighting, but it seems like it's going to be an interesting card, and I would like to see both fights, like both cards, Liam Paro versus Subriel Matias is going to be on the zone. I think it starts at 7 p.m. And the other fight, I don't know. I think it starts at 10. Tank Davis versus Frank Martin. I'm not too sure, 10 or 11. But I want to see all the fights. I want to be able to enjoy all the boxing matches. And it's not fair. I heard that Tank Davis doesn't like Eddie. It doesn't like Eddie Hearns. No, I don't. 7 p.m. tonight. Yep. Well, not tonight. No, 7 p.m. It's going to be at 7 p.m. June 15th in Puerto Rico. It's the same time in Puerto Rico as the United States in the summertime. So Eastern time, so Eastern Pacific time. So they basically have the same time, in the summertime. But when the winter time comes, it's an hour ahead. I think it's an hour ahead in Puerto Rico, but now it's the same time, if I'm not mistaken. So, yes, I would like to see both fights, both matches, but I don't know like how it's gonna work out. We might be able to see most of the fights. If the fights end early, I'll be able to see both. But if the fights go to distance, all of them, which I don't think so with David Benavidez and Antoine Russell. That's a good fighter too, undefeated. I think he's 17-0 with 17 KOs. He hasn't fought a Super Matias, but they've been going back and forth with in the Mill City boxing show. They have sent comments to each other, but they haven't actually signed a contract. But I feel like a fighter like Gary Antoine Russell, Subriel Matias doesn't have to fight him because he's not a champion. Subriel Matias is a champion. Gary Antoine Russell is not a champion yet, but it will be a good fight down the road. It will be a really good fight down the road because they both have similar records, um, and they all have KOs all in their fights. Hey, what's going on? Bang Bang Boogie, one love. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to my channel, Tony Also Knows Boxing. I've been away for a minute because I was going to New York City. I went to Brooklyn, my hometown, Marble Projects, Coney Island. Then I went to a Broadway show with my wife, the Schubert Theater. Then we went to Times Square. We only had like 3 days, so I had to make the best of it. We reserved 3 days vacation, little mini vacation for us, to spend time in New York City. So it was good while it lasted, but I had to get back on my grind, go back to work. But yeah, I feel like Subriel Matias fight, being at the same date as Tank Davis. I heard that Tank Davis doesn't like Eddie Hearns. He doesn't get along with him. So I don't know if they did it on purpose. Where like Showtime, Showtime. What's that guy's name? Al Heyman. He probably did that on purpose to Subriel Matias because Subriel Matias used to be under his company, and they chose to yeah, man, thank you. They chose to actually put the fight on the same date. Al Heyman and Tank Davis, they don't like Tommy Hearns. Not Tommy Hearns, Eddie Hearns. They don't like Eddie Hearns. It ain't nothing like home. You in the boogie down Bronx, Bang Boogie. Yeah, it's nothing like being home. But yeah, I feel like Eddie Hearns and Tank Davis don't get along, and I think Tank Davis did it for spite. Fight on the same day as Subriel Matias, or it could be Al Heyman trying to get back at Subriel Matias because Subriel Matias used to be signed with not signed under Al Heyman, but he used to fight under his banner, under his company through Fresh Productions. It's from Puerto Rico, but he used to actually fight, for Showtime, do like fight per fight deals with Al Heyman, but he wasn't directly with him. Yeah. Matchroom isn't. Yeah, that's another thing I noticed. Matchroom hasn't been making enough content for the fight with Subriel Matias and Paro. He promotes the other guy, Catterall, the European guy, but he don't support the Boricua. I mean, he should promote him more because, maybe he needs to see him beat Paro, but he's making it seem like he wants Paro to win because the other guy, he's a white fighter, so he probably wants Paro to win because he doesn't sound like sure that Subriel Matias is gonna beat him. He just says, "Oh, he has a tough fight with him." But the thing is, I feel like once Subriel Matias proves that he's worthy of all the praise that he's getting from the hardcore fans, I think he's probably gonna put more energy behind Subriel Matias because the way he's doing it right now, he's not doing content. Like a lot of content for Matchroom is not doing a lot of content for Subriel Matias. You're right about that. Yeah, they're promoting Boots. Well, that's you're talking about Show. Yeah. But now Boots signed he signed to Eddie Hearn's Matchrooms. Yeah, Boots was recently like signed to a Matchroom, and he was on Showtime, like Al Heyman too, the same way like Super Matias. But you know, Showtime, Al Heyman, Super Matias said it best that they always represent the black fighters. They always talk about them and protect them, but they don't promote the Puerto Rican fighters. That Subriel Matias was having trouble getting promoted. They didn't mention Subriel Matias, and he was fighting on a fight per fight basis through Fresh Productions with Al Heyman's Showtime, but he wasn't directly with them. And yeah, they stick more to like the African American fighters. They don't really promote the Latino fighters the way they should. And I feel like Tank Davis, he's banking on Latino fighters because he has David Benavidez on the undercard, and that's making the fight sell more because Latinos sell more than African Americans. That's just a fact. There's nothing racist about that. It's just a fact, and I feel like that's the reason why Tank Davis wants David Benavidez on the undercard, and then that's gonna make the fight more marketable, more sellable for the consumer, because a lot of people like David Benavidez. Not saying that a lot of people don't like Tank Davis, but Tank Davis, if you just put him on a card with him by himself, no Latino boxers, he's not gonna do as good because Latinos sell more. We're more marketable. Yeah, man. Ergashev would like the one that Subriel Matias just knocked out and stopped. He would give problems to anybody else, man. He was 23-0 with 20 KOs. He would give problems to Teofimo Lopez. I think he would beat Teofimo Lopez. A lot of people think, oh, just because Subriel Matias fights undefeated fighters that nobody knows about, they act like these fighters wouldn't give hell to the so-called Devin Haney, the elite, Brian Garcia, Teofimo Lopez. Rolly Romero is overrated. So like a lot of these people are just all about promotion and the name. That doesn't mean that they're better than the people that Subriel Matias knocked out. Those fighters Subriel Matias had to fight because he didn't have a big machine behind him. So he had to fight those fighters. And those fighters, any of those undefeated fighters, Malik Hawkins, any of those fighters, any of those undefeated fighters, Dadashev, they would give hell to Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. They would beat those guys, but they didn't give them a chance because the big machine promoters. They won't put those fighters with those number one contenders because they don't have to, because all they need to do is get the money fights because they have the name. But the people like Subriel Matias, he had to work his way to the championship to get known. He was forced to fight all those number one monsters, all the number one contenders to qualify to get the championship belt. You know, the title eliminators. He had to go through all that. But I feel like Subriel Matias is going to beat everybody in the 140-pound division if he gets the opportunity. I think he's going to beat everybody in that division. They're not giving him the chance, but I feel now that he's with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom. Like once he convinces Eddie Hearns that he is the real deal. When he knocks out Paro, it's going to be a hard fight. Paro's a really good boxer. He has technique. But this is going to show people that even a skillful boxer like Paro, that Subriel Matias will be able to defeat because he has an awkward style and Subriel Matias has a relentless style. And the way he throws combinations, in a short distance, the way he throws combinations is very awkward. He's not like the typical boxer, the way he throws his combinations. And he overwhelms a lot of people. And a lot of people don't realize that his style is very awkward and very relentless. And a lot of boxers, even boxers, can't deal with it. But the guy Catterall, the one that beat Josh Taylor in the rematch, I think that Eddie Hearns is gonna match him with Subriel Matias. If he's not able to match Jack Catterall with Teofimo Lopez, which is the fight that he really wants to make, then he's gonna make the fight with IBF champion Subriel Matias. But you see that they're trying to use Subriel Matias as a scapegoat to crown Jack Catterall as the champion. That's what it seems like Eddie Hearns is doing. But he's still gonna have him. He still has both fighters in house on his promotion Matchroom. So Subriel Matias is gonna prove even Eddie Hearns wrong that he shouldn't focus so much on Jack Catterall. He should focus more on Subriel Matias because that is the star. That is the star that I think he even Eddie Hearns is kind of overlooking. He's not 100% sold on him. So I feel like, yeah, Don Wilder, man, he definitely got to retire. Steve, yep. I think Deontay Wilder is done, and he should just call it quits because he was like one of my favorite boxers, but he never had the defense, but he had that power. He had the equalizer. He always had that. Yeah, I think he would definitely. Yeah, bang bang boogie. I think Matias would definitely spark Catterall. I don't think Catterall's built that way. Man, he's good enough to beat a Josh Taylor, but he don't got the sufficient dog in him to beat a Super Real Matias. You got to be really crazy and you got to be really like ready to die to beat a Super Real Matias. That's just the kind of boxer that he is, and a lot of people are not built that way mentally, physically. It's just he's been through a lot. He's been shot at, and I think that makes you or break you. I think when you get shot and you survive that, there's a lot of things that you could overcome in life, and you don't succumb to things easily when you have a life like that. And I think it reflects in the ring. Word up! It's hard to be hungry when you're sleeping in silk sheets. That's right, bang bang boogie. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Uh, Subscribe to my channel and check out my music on Spotify. Tony also, the prodigy of Albizu Campos. I talk about what's going on in Puerto Rico, the colonialism, the United States tax exemptions of Act 60, and the displacement of Puerto Ricans. And and it's a shame. I talk about all that in my music, and I also sing. I have R&B album that I'm dropping called The Essence of Who I Am. It's gonna be released soon. I got production being done on it. It's a very powerful album, just basically reflecting the truth through my music, singing, and I want Matias to shut up. Gary Antoine, yeah, PR boxing. I want that too, but right now at this time, Subriel Matias is not really gonna gain much if he beats Gary Antoine Russell. Yeah, he'll get respect, but he's not a champion, and I feel like it's better if he gets an opportunity with another champion, and then they unify with Subriel, because I feel like, yeah, abolish the Jones Act law. Yep, abolish that. That's benefiting the United States. It's not benefiting Puerto Rico. The United States is benefiting from the fact that Puerto Rico is an unincorporated territory, and all those big companies in Puerto Rico, they bring money to the American corporations. But I don't want to get into politics. They don't help Puerto Rico, but you could check out my album. You'll find out how I talk about that. I got a song called "Unite the Tribes" by Tony. Also, check it out on Spotify, YouTube, and all platforms. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this boxing, but yeah, Gary Antoine Russell does not bring anything to the table for Subriel Matias at this point, because it'll be bragging rights, because he puts a loss on his record, but he needs to fight former champions, because a lot of people are saying that Subriel Matias has never fought a former champion, but a lot of people don't realize that Dadashev was a big deal. A lot of people were making a big deal about Dadashev, Maxim Dadashev. When he fought Subriel Matias, they were not going for Subriel Matias to win. The promotional company, Top Rank, was going for Dadashev. Dadashev was the next big thing out of Russia or Ukraine, and Dadashev beat a former champion. He beat a former champion. So, I forgot his name, but he beat a former champion. Dadashev did. So what does that say about Subriel Matias? That he can beat anybody that was a champion before, whether he fought one or not. He beat and murdered a boxer, that Dadashev, that actually beat a former champion. So I mean, you could flip this away so many ways, and I feel like Dadashev was a big deal, and the fighter that when Subriel Matias fought him, he was the next big thing to come out of Ukraine or Russia, and I don't know which country exactly he was from. I think he was from Ukraine. And Subriel Matias, unfortunately he murdered him, but he proved that he was made. He was made for that. He was ready. He was built for that. So I feel like right now a fight with Gary Antoine Russell and Subriel Matias, doesn't really bring a lot to the table for Subriel Matias because he's not a champion. When he becomes a champion, then it'll be a bigger fight. And I feel like Subriel Matias doesn't gain much by beating him. They're just gonna say he beat another undefeated fighter that was never a champion. So Subriel Matias is for legacy. He's out for legacy. He needs to fight somebody that was a champion or is a champion, so that way he could get his resume up and get his status a little bit more established, his name out there, and he needs to fight former champions or champions. And I think he's Subriel Matias is the real deal, and he's gonna beat everybody at 140. Everybody that's sleeping on him, even my son. My son doesn't watch boxing like that, but he talks his smack about him, but he doesn't know boxing like that. But once he beats the elite that he knows about, then he's gonna give him the respect. That's how some people are. They need to see it. Okay, but what am I trying to tell you is if Gary Antrell Russell, this next fight that is on the undercard of Gervonta Davis wins, he'll be the number one mandatory for Devin Haney or Sandor Martin. Yeah, okay. So Devin Haney, he would have to fight Devin Haney or Subriel Matias. It would be a good opportunity if he got the opportunity, but I don't know what Subriel Matias is ranked in Devin Haney's weight class for the WBC. But if that happens and he fights Devin Haney, uh, and then he says he's going for he did say that in an interview that Gary Russell, that he's gonna go for the WBC first, and then he's gonna go for the IBF, which is Subriel Matias, and I feel like that's gonna be interesting. I know for a fact that Devin Haney has no chin, and he's not gonna be able to handle what what this guy Gary Antoine Russell brings to the table. Gary Antoine Russell is very dangerous. He hasn't fought a champion like Subriel, but it's a dangerous fight. That's a very competitive fight. I don't know right now what Devin's gonna do because Devin is in a position now where he has to recover his confidence. And I heard he's gonna fight Sandor Martin, but like Devin Haney right now, I don't think that fighting Gary Antoine Russell is gonna benefit him because he just got knocked out. I know Ryan Garcia cheated, and he came in 3 pounds overweight. He was using steroids, but at the end of the day, I don't condone that. You should fight fair and square, but at the end of the day, Devin Haney has no chin. So that that was gonna happen either way. But I think it did make him stronger, and I just feel like that doesn't that's a discredit to boxing to do that, to fight fair and square. Yeah, it's probably gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. That's a good point. Devin is gonna have to defend or drop his belt. I don't know, but something's gonna happen on where he has to either fight Antoine Russell or drop his belt. But I feel like the best fight to make now is either saying after Subriel Matias defeats Paro, which is not an easy fight, but I see Subriel Matias beating him. Paro's been talking a lot of crap, saying that he's better at winning than Subriel Matias. So Subriel Matias was like, I'm gonna knock you out for being a big mouth. I'm gonna show the loser is gonna show you, what happens to you when you have a big mouth. I'm gonna knock you out. So he's basically he's training for that. But I feel like the best fight for Subriel Matias, Teofimo Lopez, Jack Catterall. That's more of a possible fight. Jack Catterall after this fight, or Regis Prograis. I think that's possible too. It's good because he was a former champion, and if he knocks him out, it looks better on his record because he'll be the only one. Subriel will be the only one to knock out Prograis if that was to happen. Because nobody else has knocked him out. Yeah, but I want to see that fight because it's the only one guy that could try to beat Matias, but I know he can't. Yeah, that's a really good fight. If you ask me, the fight with Subriel Matias and Antoine Russell is fireworks. Man, I see fireworks in that fight. Like that fight, we don't know, like because yeah, Subriel Matias is a beast, but we don't know how good Antoine Russell is, but he is good. So he would definitely have to step up his game, and that would be a fight where they both try to kill each other. And I feel like Antoine Russell's he's one of those fighters that you got to kill too. And he's definitely a beast. But Subriel Matias, I think, would beat him. But it's a fight that you're not really sure, exactly who's gonna win. But yeah, yep. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, the 140-pound division is PR Boxing and Bang Bang Boogie. The 140-pound division is the most interesting division right now. It's the most exciting division, and I've been hearing stuff about you know Canelo fighting Crawford, and I'm like, I don't think that fight is good for Crawford. Crawford has the all the abilities to and the possibilities to win that fight because the better boxer. Because even Mayweather fought a bigger fighter in Canelo when they fought, but I don't know how young or how old um, Crawford is getting. So like by the time he gets the fight with Canelo, I don't know if it's an even fight based on age, but I think the based on skills, I think Crawford is way more talented than Canelo. Yep, PR Boxing. I see what you wrote. If you piss, if one thing, I'm gonna read the other thing. Matias is the best 140. El gallo mío le gana a todo. Exactamente, él le gana a todo porque ahora mismito en la división de 140 tenemos a Devin Haney que no tiene quijada y también tenemos a Teofimo López que habla mucho y mentalmente él no está preparado para una persona como Subriel Matías que tiene mucha babilla y bien dedicado y mucha disciplina. Teofimo López no lo ha sido muy bien en sus últimas dos peleas. Él lució bien con Josh Taylor porque Josh Taylor no ha peleado en 32 meses. Estaba bien inactivo y no lució bien. Y él lució bien con él. Pero si una persona está activa y está dedicada y entrenando y peleando cada rato como Subriel Matías, él no va a poder mantenerse al tú a tú o pelear con un boxeador así que está disciplinado y que está peleando constantemente. No va a poder lucir bien con un boxeador así porque Teofimo López no ha lucido bien con boxeadores que están activos y que boxeadores como Camboso que no están al nivel de la habilidad de Subriel Matías. Él no es nada especial. Camboso. Chacho, Bang Boogie. Matias versus Gary Russell. You would need an ambulance parked next to the ring. Facts. That would be beautiful. That's a fan favorite fight right there. Gary Antoine Russell versus Subriel Matias. That's a fight that the real hardcore boxing fans want to see. That's something that the real hardcore boxing fans, the people that not the mainstream, but the hardcore boxing fans, the mainstream will appreciate it, but they don't really know of those fighters, but they know about the mainstream ones like Ryan Garcia, the Teofimo Lopez, but that's not the fights that the hardcore fans like appreciate fights that like that that's under the radar that should be promoted. It should be have more promotion, but no, they put the Teofimo Lopez against Sando Martin. They promote those. Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. The mainstream promotes that, but they should focus on promoting the up and coming boxers as well, because the fans, they want to see the new meat, the new blood, and that's how you keep the sport alive when you keep promoting the new up and coming boxers. But yeah, you could check out my content on Tony Osono's Boxing. Subscribe to my channel. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Yes, man. And my prediction for Tank Davis versus Frank Martin, I say Tank Davis wins. I've been doing bad in my last predictions. I didn't do too good, but you know, I like to see Tank Davis come out with a victory, Frank Martin, and fight a real pound for pound in his weight class like Shakur Stevenson. That's what I want to see. I want to see him step up his game and fight somebody. Well, this supposedly Frank Martin is coming up in weight to fight Tank Davis, and Tank Davis is always like weight draining the boxers. So I want to see Tank Davis fight a Subriel Matias. That would be a good fight. Like they don't promote those kind of fights because boxing is just all business, and Subriel Matias is a high risk, low reward. So they don't promote it like that. But if they promote it the way they should, and Subriel Matias gets his name up after 2 fights, I believe that his name will be more established and more people will want to see Subriel Matias with the other so-called elite, and it'll be great for boxing. Now that he's with Matt Hearns, hopefully they put more of their energy on Subriel Matias after he defeats Paro. He'll be more convincing to his promoter, and sometimes you got to do that. You got to convince your own promoter. Sometimes your own promoter don't believe in you. That's what happened with Teofimo Lopez. They didn't want to put him with Subriel Matias, top rank. That's the reason why the fight was never made. It's not because Subriel Matias refused to fight Teofimo. Top rank never guaranteed Teofimo Lopez to Subriel Matias. That's why Subriel Matias moved on. That's why I try to tell what's that guy, Punch Drunk. He says that Subriel Matias avoided the fight. He's wrong about that. He didn't do all his research. Punch Drunk, he has good content, but a lot of times he's just a troll and clickbait, and he clowns, and he doesn't get all his facts straight. And I feel like he's just a fanboy of Teofimo Lopez, so he's gonna, But lately he's been talking good about Subriel Matias. That imagine if he had to weight drain him, if he had to if he had to make right now, if he didn't have to make the weight, and he fought these fighters that he's fighting, he would be more dangerous. So he makes a good point about that. So I give him credit for that. He's starting to talk more positive about Subriel and giving him his just due, because sometimes people have to see it to believe it. But it's good that people are starting to recognize that Subriel Matias, he's very disciplined and dedicated. Why I debated? You said why I debate? You said why you debate Punch and Super? Oh, because he's always not giving us, like, before, not now. He was not giving Subriel credit. He kept saying that Subriel Matias avoided the fight, that he faked his hand injury, and that's not true. And he's saying that Subriel Matias avoided the fight with Teofimo Lopez, which is not true, because he said it in an interview that Subriel Matias said that he spoke to Top Rank and they did not guarantee a Teofimo Lopez fight. That's why I was debating that with Punch Drunk, not clout chasing, just proving to him that he was wrong on that. And he asked me to apologize. I don't apologize for keeping it real, so that's why I never apologize. I just said if he admits that he should not copied and pasted what a trainer says, if he knew it wasn't true, that he didn't say that Teofimo Lopez doesn't sign a contract, that he was trying to say that everybody knows that a boxer doesn't sign a contract. So why did he say that Teofimo Lopez signed a contract when he knows that's not true, and he copied and pasted whatever the trainer Panda said that the boxer Teofimo Lopez signed a contract, but that's not true. So he should have never mentioned it. He should have never copied and pasted what Panda said, if he knows that that's not true. That was the debate. Debate what Matias beat Teofimo. You think I could beat him? You guys are funny, man. I appreciate you guys, all the comments. Yeah, they're making the fights. The Turkey Ashik have enough money to book all the fights you want to see. Yeah, that's true. But they're making Crawford versus Canelo. They should make David Benavidez versus Canelo. That would be a better fight, don't you think? More fair. I'm not saying that Crawford can't beat Canelo, but Canelo might have a weight advantage. Yeah. I appreciate you guys. Subscribe to my channel. I overstayed my time, but I appreciate you guys tuning in. Subscribe to my channel. Check out my music on all major platforms. One love. I'll put more content out later.